What's going on, guys? I'm sitting here doing some videos and going over a list of some things that I want to do videos on, and a little reading, a little research on the computer on some things, just doing a lot of things right now all at the same time. And I saw earlier where Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia was found dead today. And that got me to thinking, you should always be preparing. You should always be trying to better your situation, better your position. Clothing, food, water, medical supplies, tools, ammo, mags, you name it. I wanted to throw this out though just as food for thought. This year is already, in my opinion, a pivotal year for the country. This election could, I emphasize could, possibly be forever altering our course as a country. So in that vein, I've been quietly, by quietly I mean not on YouTube, but encouraging friends, family, etc. to really get prepared, more so than some of them already have been, because of the election this year, where it could potentially take us, and combined with world events on a global scale right now. The whole world is really just sitting on a powder keg, okay? But I guess with Justice Scalia's death, it was unexpected. Now, the news reports I read said it was of natural causes and all that. But I don't think anybody was expecting any Supreme Court nominees to be coming up until the next president. Now that's been a big concern for the election, because the next president could, before today, have conceivably been potentially assigning 3 new justices. There's potential, there was, for 3 of them to be retiring or whatever in the next 4 years or so. I don't think anybody thought that any of them were going to leave this year. Well, excuse me, it could be argued that Scalia was probably the most conservative of all the current sitting justices. He's been pretty steadfast and staunch in as far as holding up true constitutional law, etc. I don't know if you've thought about this yet. Maybe some of you don't even know the news yet. But with his passing today, it's pretty much a certainty that before the election, the current occupier of the White House is going to be appointing a new Supreme Court judge. You know it's not going to be one that's friendly to conservatives, patriots, libertarians, survivalists, preppers, constitutionalists. Did I mention that already? not going to be friendly. Probably understatement by using that term. Could very well be openly and outright aggressive. That could dramatically shake up things on the Supreme Court. It's been a pretty 50-50 split, especially since, for whatever reason, we've not been able to truly count on John Roberts to vote and rule along constitutional lines. So let me present this scenario to you. Well, before I do, with this appointment that the current occupier of the White House is probably going to do, since we have so many lily-livered, gutless, pathetic excuses on the conservative side, Republicans in Congress, I'd be willing to bet you very few of them are going to be willing to stand up and oppose whatever left-wing nut job that he tries to appoint as a new Supreme Court justice. They're not going to oppose it. They wouldn't oppose it, in my opinion, any given year. But with this being an election year, they doubly want to oppose it over some convoluted, idiotic idea that it'll affect the conservative and or Republican candidates. I differentiate between conservative and Republican. Chances at winning the election this year. So that said, think about the most anti-freedom friendly person you can being assigned to the Supreme Court before this year's over with. Think about the fact that the Supreme Court's already, like I said, split kind of 50-50. Now, it'll be leaning towards the other direction. Then factor in whatever crazy laws he wants to try to get pushed through Congress, which again the lily-livered spineless little weasels will happily go along with, or he'll just do an unconstitutional executive order. And who's going to stop him? If something like that did happen, you might say, well, challenge it in the Supreme Court. Supreme Court justice appointments are for life. If an executive order or a law is passed between now and the end of the year, under the current occupier's presidency, even if he's gone next year, year after, those justices will still be sitting on the Supreme Court. If he gets the right person in there to go with the ones that are already there, what do you think the chances are of getting something like that overturned? So, the reason I'm throwing this out there, and I want to be very clear that I do find this to be very serious. Now, no, I'm not screaming the sky is falling and the end is coming. I'm just saying this is serious. You need to pay attention. You need to start thinking about things. However hard you've been thinking about them, think about them harder. I would suggest if there's anything that's been on your list to get as far as your preparedness, start thinking about it real quick, real soon. Excuse me. Now, I don't know what kind of craziness these people could do. A friend that I have had discussions, and like I've repeatedly told them, and they agree with, Yesterday's tinfoil conspiracy thoughts are today's reality. So don't think there's anything outside the realm of possibility. So that said, whether you're looking at adding some more food to your storage supplies, more medical stuff, more water capability, clothing, you need a generator, some fuel. If you've been thinking about buying some solar panels, any of those things, start thinking real hard of in the next few months how you can quickly start adding whatever you can to those stocks. No matter how small of an amount it is, add something. Probably at the top of the list, anything related to your protection and defense. That of yourself personally, your family, your preparedness group, whatever. I don't necessarily think that any kind of crazy ban per se is going to happen between now and say the end of the year. These guys tend to be a little more methodical than that, a little more incremental. I don't think they can come out right now. The climate's not right for something that bold and overt and far-reaching. But I think there's enough potential for things to happen on a smaller scale that people could very easily panic, which God knows we've seen it multiple times in the past 8 years. And you could see prices go through the roof and or availability overnight. So if you need a couple extra boxes of ammo, a couple of extra magazines, finishing off that rifle you've been building and working on, getting that holster, getting that backpack, getting that chest rig, whatever. Start thinking hard about doing it. The prayer that I pray every night is that it's all for naught. I hope I never need it. Hope it's all a waste. But I'm going to do it so that if I do need it, I got it. Now, we're all on a budget. Some big budgets, some small budgets. Do what you can. If it's going to the store and getting one more 20-round box ammo, do that once a month. Before you know it, you'll have another 100 rounds. Whatever, no matter how small. I guess that's kind of what I want to close out on. Start looking at the bigger picture on these things and the broader scope. This year was already pivotal with Justice Scalia's untimely passing today. I personally think it just got a lot bigger. Now, obviously, I'm talking to you guys that are primarily here stateside, but for those of you overseas, y'all are all living in powder kegs for various reasons too. Like I said, this stuff going on right now is global. It's all over the globe. And unfortunately, what happens in the United States is going to affect the entire rest of the world anyway, especially our allies. Be it military allies or economic allies. So y'all need to pay attention to what we've got going on here stateside too, unfortunately. So guys, start looking at your preps. Start adding them up. If there's anybody that you know that's been on the fence that you've been trying to bring over, you might want to bump your efforts up a little bit. Let me close on one final topic, and we'll get into this a little more. I'm probably going to start doing a couple more videos on this. Part of your preps, part of your preparedness needs to be to get yourself in the best physical condition that you can. Not the best physical condition somebody else is in, the best that you can for you. Be honest and realistic about it. Don't cheat yourself. There's multiple reasons for this. Number one, healthcare there's a lot of stuff going on in healthcare right now. There could potentially be a lot more that happens now. Again, some people don't understand just how truly important the Supreme Court is. Just the threat of the Supreme Court in keeping certain things in check. You want to be in as good a health as you can be. You don't want to be having to go to the doctor a lot. You don't want to have to be on any long-term medications and stuff if there's any way you can avoid it. You want to be in as good a physical shape as you can. A, just because you're going to feel better and be healthier. But B, for whatever may come down the road. Not only are you going to be able to perform better physically, do things, your livelihood and longevity is going to be better, but you'll be less prone to injury, quicker recovery, when you do get injured. Don't leave that out as part of your preps. Get on it now. Tomorrow evening, Monday morning, Monday afternoon, whatever. Start working out somehow. I don't care if it's as simple throwing on a backpack and walking 3 miles 2 or 3 times a week. Cutting back on all the junk food that you eat. Cutting back on all the soft drinks. Any little thing you can do to get yourself in better shape. But get in the best shape that you can for you. This is something I'm going to talk about, like I said a while ago, in some upcoming videos. We're not all going to be Olympic triathlon athletes, okay? For a lot of reasons. Some of us just aren't built that way. Some of us have physical limitations and injuries. There's just certain things we can't do. And you need to do what you can for you, okay? PT, your physical preps, your mental preps, your knowledge, books, research. Now is the time. The time was actually yesterday and the day before and the day before that and before that. But we're in the here and now, right? The past is the past. Today, right now, is the time. Step up all your preps. Start thinking about what you need. Start thinking about what you want. Get real serious with those around you and start knocking it out. It's better to be over-prepared and nothing happened than under-prepared and something bad happened. Alright, guys? I know you're sick of hearing me rant. I'll shut up now. I'll go back to stuffing coffee down my face because coffee is God's way of letting us know He wants us to be happy. And I'll just enjoy this and shut up and let you get back to enjoying the rest of your day. So if you've stuck with me through all this long and listened to me, you're an absolute trooper and I appreciate it. So take care, guys. God bless, and I will talk back to you again really soon.